Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Football live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me today is my best boy, Andrew Erickson. That's right. We're going to hang out, talk a little football. Our producer, John, always behind the ones and the twos, making the show all work here, rocking things out with us. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Drop them below here in the chat. We love to hear from you. We had a lot of fun on Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday, every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern for you to hang out, to get a little respite from a weary world and talk a little fantasy football. I know those are big words, so while you're researching those, I want to tell you about our latest giveaway here at Fantasy Pros, and that, of course, is our Christian Kirk jersey. So, Duval Christian Kirk jersey, we're giving this bad boy away. All you got to do is subscribe to the Fantasy Pros channel, drop the comment below, and, of course, ring that bell for notifications, and this autographed Christian Kirk jersey can be yours courtesy of Betting Pros, which, by the way, is where Andrew and Erickson and I just finished a podcast with our favorite picks of the week. Joe Lisi was our guest from Sports Grid. It was an incredible show. I did my whole monologue about the Miami Dolphins in there. Go check that out. Go subscribe there too, because this might be an opportunity to get in on the Dolphins now, because if they win that game Sunday night in a big fashion, the market is going to move and move significantly. So lots of Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa discussions in that one. Erickson, a lot of people on a bye this week. A little bit of tunnel vision here. It makes things a lot harder, but at the same time, a little bit of fun, because we got some names here we're going to be asked that probably are not the normal names that people might be looking to start. But desperate times call for desperate measures.
This is when the true grinders, the true top-tier fantasy football managers emerge from the flames that is the week 6 or week 7 bye weeks. So I love it. I think it's a fun challenge. You know, as someone that's always diving in the weeds with all these players, I'm like, maybe this guy who's like the third stringer on this team could do something this week. Like, this is the week. Oh my God, I got to play this guy. Like, this is the week. I was like, oh, I don't have a choice. It's like, in theory, now becomes reality. So it'll be a fun week regardless.
All right, let's kick off the fun here with all of you, our listeners, our Fantasy Pros homies. Robbie Thomas, 18, half PPR flex, CMC, Jonathan Taylor, McLaurin, Watson. So this is a little tricky here because obviously CMC plays on Monday. So I'm not exactly sure what would. So are we contemplating that CMC is a flex play because this team is so good? That's a little weird to me, Erickson, don't you think?
I think that he's probably just trying to figure out what, based on the injury, concerns about CMC, if there's anyone that's no. Like, you literally have to be like, it have to be a top tier guy, and Taylor, McLaurin, Watson, like none of those
What
guys
was the
are even
latest
close.
on McCaffrey today?
We don't know. We haven't gotten
today.
We haven't gotten the first injury report yet.
I did get one injury report just now that just broke.
Okay.
Thank goodness I have my playbook. Do you? You should. Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo is out for Sunday's game against the Bears. Not that that's surprising, but that is an update here. We're already getting that. Here's my one thing to Robbie. I want, without a shadow of a doubt, Christian Watson in. I think Christian Watson is a must start this week. So CMC, Taylor, I mean, all these guys are good starts, Robbie. It's just a matter of CMC news. Let's go to 21 Sebs. Should I trade Olave for James Cook? Interesting here. Olave is underwhelmed a little bit. So is James Cook. I guess this is kind of a roster question more than anything else. What do you think about this?
Yeah. Look, whenever we've talked about this on the trade show a lot, where whenever you make a wide receiver for running back move, you're probably going to be trading like a superior wide receiver for a inferior running back, but it's all based on the scarcity of the position. Like, you have to pay up more receiver to get a running back that is a guy you can start. So I think it's fair based on the trade. And if you need the running back slot filled and you feel good about your other receivers, then I think it makes sense to do this. I don't think that Olave with Carr, you're going to look back up and be like, oh my God, that totally destroyed me. I think that Olave is going to be probably okay, like a wide receiver 2 for the rest of the season, but I don't think he's going to be like oh my God, he like melted faces because Derek Carr is his quarterback.
Melted faces. Nice. Brian Laforte. Ingram or Laporta in PPR. Got to trade one soon. I want to trade Ingram, but I think you get more for Laporta. So I guess it depends on what you like to do. I mean, I think Ingram's fine to play. So I think it's a matter of if you can get somebody to overpay on Laporta, great. If someone's not, then trade Ingram. That's how I would proceed.
So something maybe you could try to do. This is something that I did in one of my leagues. I traded to get up to a Mark Andrews. So packaging one of these guys now, Andrews like on the surface doesn't look like he's been that much better, but like we have a
I was
big
gonna say,
sample
is that
size
really?
of Andrews being a top tier guy,
Mm.
and I think that the Ravens offense hasn't even hit its stride yet. I think they can be better, and if Andrews is going to be catching touchdowns left and right, like he could be a big difference maker for you as opposed to these two other players you got much later in your drafts. So
Let's go to Sean Dixon's question: Raiders or Packers? DST. We're assuming on this one.
I think you got to go with the Raiders. They're
Going with
playing,
the Raiders.
yeah, two rookie quarterbacks
Brian
going at
Hoyer
it.
and Tyson Badgett.
Oh, I think it's
Or
gonna
is
be
it
O'Connell.
O'Connell? Is O'Connell
It's
going to
gonna be
play?
O'Connell, I think. Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be good TV. Let's go. Let's go to Victoria's question. Victoria wants to know, should I trade Patrick Mahomes and Keenan Allen to receive Tyreek Hill in a full PPR? Well, Victoria, I don't know what the downgrade in quarterback is going to be from Mahomes to whatever it is. I don't mind this if you're, I guess, what's the level of quarterback where you're okay with this? Is it Goff replacement level for you, Erickson, where you want to get Tyreek Hill? Is it, I'm trying to think of like who's that bottom tier. I mean, CJ Stroud could be a guy off the waiver wire that somebody picked up a couple weeks ago. That's kind of the grouping you're looking at. Would you do that just to get Tyreek Hill? I think I would, if that's the level of QB replacement.
I think I would too. I mean, just to get Tyreek Hill, and then look, you don't even need necessarily like anchor yourselves to any one quarterback. I mean, you can stream quarterback if you want, and I think that you may find that you may score more points streaming quarterbacks plus Tyreek Hill going bonkers every single week may actually be better than Mahomes, who's kind of underwhelmed so far, and then obviously Keenan Allen is a really good asset, but he's an older wide receiver as well. So, and the Chargers still like they're like figuring stuff out a little bit. Herbert with that finger injury, there are some concerns there.
Where was Tyreek Hill in your pre-draft rankings, Erickson? I had him at 3 overall. Do you remember where you had him?
I didn't have him high enough. I know that much because I don't have I don't have him anywhere. So
I had Jefferson, Chase, and Hill. Those are my top 3 players. And then I had Bijan and CMC. Those are my top 5.
I had AJ Brown higher than Hill.
Well, AJ Brown's been pretty good.
Yeah, so
having
again,
AJ Brown high is not wrong.
So so I have more AJ Brown, which has been fine. But
I want to say Brown was my 6th overall player. I want to say so. I also maybe once the rankings will be kind to me. Maybe one time I'll do well in the rankings. I am not good at the rankings. I'm good at playing fantasy. That's the difference. Let's get to the next one. P Bud, is Zach Evans the next Amari DiMercato? Which Rams RB are you think is most likely to contribute? It's a great question. DiMercato did burn us. I mean, the hard part is watching him on the field not do anything. Exactly. That was the hardest part.
The process was right. Like
the process was right because he was there.
They were a negative game script. He played the most snaps, and they just were like, okay, well, this week we're just not going to give him the ball. I was like, okay, sick. So I don't think that you should use that. Again, it's a different situation. I think that Evans has, again, the floor is non-existent because they could say, hey, Royce Freeman, you're just going to be the guy this week, or Miles Gaskin, or whoever else they have, Darrell Henderson. But I think the upside is Zach Evans steps into that Kyron Williams role, sees an 80% snap share against a beatable run defense. Like, I think that's worth it. We talked about it on the Start Sit show where Zach Evans, like, I'm playing him over Alexander Madison. I'm playing him over Rashad White. Like, these, like, RB2 volume guys that you don't really want to play, but you have to play because they are just volume guys.
Over Rashad White, you're playing him this year. That's
I mean, like, Rashad White is
you've been a defender of his in the past at times.
Yeah, well,
I've been not a defender. I've been an attacker.
His usage has been what I wanted it to be, but from an efficiency standpoint, yeah, he hasn't. But I don't think it's all on him because every Buccaneers running back has been horrible. Like they can't run block, and he's had tough matchups. So
running back overall this year, I mean, CMC's been incredibly consistent up until the injury. It's been a weird mixed bag. Because for every one of these guys, it's underperformed. I mean, I'm trying to think, who have we been really excited about so far that was a first tier running back, like an RB1 that got drafted outside of CMC? Like Bijan's been good, but I'm still waiting for the Bijan show to be completely unveiled. But Aaron Jones dealt with injury. Saquon's dealt with injury. Eckler's dealt with injury. Jonathan Taylor was out for 4 weeks. I mean, Joe Mixon hasn't scored because Joe Mixon doesn't like to score.
The name you're looking for here is Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. Yes, Travis Etienne has been good.
Yep.
Luckily, I have him in my dynasty league. Him and Bijan. That's my RB duo with Chase. It's a good start. I wish my quarterbacks were playing better, but that's a story for another live stream. Let's go to James Shank. How do you get in like Shank? You spent some time in prison? I kind of wonder. James the kind of guy you have to answer his question, otherwise bad things happen? I got to worry about that. Pick two guys: London, Debo, Judy, Addison. Who's your favorite two this week of this group?
London, Judy, Addison. Gross.
I mean, London is very basic.
I would probably play London, honestly.
So you get two. So
Oh.
London and Addison, I think, are the two most intriguing ones.
Yeah,
Me.
Debo is hurt, and
Yeah,
this is just
it's
like his
too many
MO
options.
is he doesn't play well when he's hurt because he can't play at his
Who does?
his
I do. I play
normal
well.
functioning capacity. Like he's good when he makes he breaks other people, like he breaks defenders. Like
Right.
that's when he's good, and when he can't do that, that's his best part of his game. And Judy is like basically the Broncos are trying to figure out how to trade him, but they're like trying to boost his stock while Steve Smith is destroying his stock. It's just
when is somebody just going to give Steve Smith a show to just talk trash on people? Like I think that I'm here for that.
I mean, he was being he was just being honest. Like that's how I kind of
Well,
viewed it. I was
I
like,
love that. This is why I always like Steve Smith, because I feel like Steve Smith deep down is a good dude, and Steve Smith was trying to pull him off to the side and do a good thing and be like, "Hey, listen, maybe I was."
yeah,
To quote Letterkenny speaking out of school. But I mean, maybe he was just, was trying to do that. And then Judy was like, nah, brah, I'm good. And Steve Smith was like, oh, yeah? Well, I've got a microphone on national television. I'm going to roast you now. And then he did.
You just picked the wrong analyst to piss off.
I know. You can't, there's certain guys you shouldn't say that about. Because Steve Smith, really, if you send Steve Smith home, you're like, all right. He's just going to go home, be like, I'm fine. He doesn't care.
Remember the Steve Smith Ice Up Sun game against Talib? That was one of his better moments. He had a lot of moments.
His football life was very entertaining. He like I said, I think at his core, Steve Smith is a good guy. He is just really tough. You got to crack that exterior, and then if he extends the olive branch, because there's a good person somewhere in there, but if you turn on him, you take a clipper to that olive branch. My dude's he's gonna lose it, and he did, and I'm here for it. He's good TV. Let's go to Chuck C. Uncle Joey. Need your brain, assuming both are healthy, Jeff Wilson or Roschon. Well, I don't think we can assume that Roschon's healthy. I think we have to go with Jeff Wilson here, Erickson. I don't think we have much of a choice, right?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Jeff Wilson. Roschon has been in the concussion protocol for now almost 2 weeks.
10 days.
Because it was 2 Thursdays ago that he got the concussion.
It's a long time.
So
hopefully he's doing okay. Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. I'm glad the league is finally taking control of that, though. That's a very good thing. I know it's frustrating from a fantasy standpoint, but when you see what happened to some of these players from the 60s and 70s and 80s, and even the 90s with the concussions, it's brutal. So good on the league finally doing something. Shane Sylvia, PPR, start Rice or Deontay Johnson. Look, as intriguing as Rice is, he's more of a dart thrower to me. I got to start Deontay coming off the bye. He says he's healthy. He's had so many targets over the years. I know last year he didn't score a single touchdown, but I got to start him here. Don't you think, Erickson?
I think that Rice has more upside. I think
you might be right. What do you think about this Mecole Hardman thing? I was on Instagram Live yesterday because, again, social media influencer, very important here. A lot of questions about Mecole Hardman. I was like, I mean, I don't
what?
Do we stash Mecole Hardman? Do we add him now that he got traded to the Chiefs? And I'm just kind of like, why? Because he was wide receiver 60 last 2 years when he was on the Chiefs. I don't understand. We're swimming upstream here. I don't get it.
I kind of agree with you. I think it's just more of of telling us how the Chiefs feel about the rest of the receivers and how they're
I think
not good.
I think that it sends the message to the rest of the room that it's time to shape up or ship out. And I'll tell you what, I don't think they're going to do. I think that the Chiefs, I want to say, when Tyreek Hill, that whole thing, they said, okay, we want to pay Tyreek Hill. Okay, fine. Could you imagine at the clip that Tyreek Hill is playing at right now? I mean, I know it's a different offense. I know it's a different thing, but my God. And we look back on it and, great quarterbacks, sometimes get made by great wide receivers and great talent. And Travis Kelce, Mahomes had a lot of great talent. Now, last year, Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards without that talent, but I think it puts a lot of pressure on a quarterback. And I think they were trying to be patient, trying to say, okay, we made some investments in some young guys like Sky Moore, made some investments we took Justin Ross, a flyer. We took, Rashee Rice this year. The Flyers haven't worked. Don't you think next year they got to go and spend some capital either in the draft or in free agency on a real wide receiver to they can bank on?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think that if we talk about Juju, even how bad he's been with the Patriots, but with the Chiefs last year, he was good in the role that he had on that team. and they didn't really replace him. And
He was until he got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that open window where he was starting to get it. I think it was like around like week 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh my goodness, it's starting to happen. And then he got hurt and then it just never came back.
Yeah.
It just never happened after that. But the Chiefs need to, they can't, Andy Reid and company can't Tom Brady him where, you just put too much on that quarterback every single year. You got to give him some other weapons besides Kelsey. Because that's what happened to Brady. Eventually when Julian Edelman couldn't do it anymore, he had Gronk, who was, old and done. And then he had nobody else to throw the ball to. He's like, give me some help.
Well, it took the Patriots going to the AFC Championship game with Rashae Caldwell as their number one receiver to then figure out, next year we're going all in. And then what do they do? They sign Moss, Welker, and then they went ballistic. So
I can still see Rashae Caldwell dropping that ball in Indianapolis, and it still hurts my soul. Like, I'm still not over that one because I mean,
they were up 21-3.
Just right in his hands. Right in his hands. Anyway, let's go to Shane's question here. Enough about that. Shane Sylvia. We did Shane, sorry. Kirk Johansson. Start Javonte Williams or Jahmyr Gibbs in full PPR.
I'm playing Gibbs. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play him without Montgomery. So you got to play him. I don't even care who they're playing. Doesn't matter.
Once in a lifetime. It's like David Montgomery is Walter Payton.
I don't know, man.
It's going to happen again at some point.
I mean, so far his numbers look pretty good this year.
I know they look good, but it's David Montgomery. I mean, at some point he's either going to miss more time or it's not going to be forever, folks. El Tomo Loco. Sup, bros. Loving the show as always. Thanks, Tomo. Please pick 2, Ridley, Flowers, or Addison. I think it's Ridley and Flowers still for me.
Yeah, just Flowers for sure. I think Ridley and Addison's a coin flip, but Kirk Cousins may be a house of horrors on Monday night.
I'm rooting so hard for Kirk Cousins on Monday night because I'm so sick of the narrative. I hope he goes in his closet and he picks out the best shirt that he has from Kohl's, and I hope he goes out there and he just goes out and he just puts on a show on Monday. That's what I want for Kirk Cousins. That's what
I'm consider me skeptical considering they converted 2 of 13 third downs against the Bears last week.
It was not pretty. It was not pretty. Maria Jose Ordonez. Musgrave or Ingram? Maria wants to know.
Ingram.
Okay. Evan Trelior. Wandale or Osborne in a full PPR flex?
If Wando plays, I know he was not practicing this week, but I would play him, especially in full PPR.
Scuba 243, 2 QB league. Lawrence or Cousins? Herbert is the QB1. Well, you're doing pretty good. It must be a shallow league, I would imagine. I think I play Lawrence. Every indication tonight, seems like he's okay to go. Getting positive stories, right? I think it's a better risk. I also like kind of starting that guy on Thursday when it's close and just kind of seeing where we're at. Would you agree? Or you want to wait and hope that Cousins doesn't get obliterated by the 49ers?
Well, I think I'd rather play Cousins because that way I may go on Monday night and be like, hey, I already won my matchup, so it doesn't even matter what he does. Or like, I need 5 points from Cousins. He can do that. Like, I think I'd rather do
but
that.
what if you need 25 points from Cousins?
Well, then you're going to lose. So you don't even need to watch.
Well, if you're trying to make hard decisions when we're not around, make sure you're using the tools over at My Playbook, the greatest set of tools ever developed in the history of fantasy, including tools like Autopilot for those leagues that have not exactly gone your way, or the leagues that you're not available to set lineups for or make moves for because why? Little Jimmy's got a soccer game, or little Maria unfortunately has a football game, or something's going on there, and you don't have time to set your lineups or do things like because family wants you to be around. The nerve of some people. Well, My Playbook's available for you. So make sure you download it, sync all of your leagues, use the lineup tool too to help you set all your lineups from one spot. Use the waiver wire assistant, the trade analyzer, the trade finder. Amazing tools. Get My Playbook today. Again, you can download that. It's free, or go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. And don't forget to upgrade too, because when you do, you unlock even more tools there. And this is that tough time. These bye weeks are when you really need the extra help. So if you're here watching the shows with us every day and you're not using My Playbook, I don't know. Like I said, My Playbook is a necessity for your fantasy leagues. All right, let's get to the next one here. Let's go to Hoodfav. Or Hood Fave? How would you say that, Erickson? Hoodfav or Hood Fave OJ?
Hoodfad.
It's a V. It's a Hoodfav OJ. I don't know.
Not the kind of OJ I drink.
Are you an orange juice guy in the morning? You a juice guy?
No, I mean it has too. I gotta watch my figure. I mean, it's too many carbs, too much sugar.
Too many carbs, too much sugar. I don't do the juice every day.
I would do it at brunch, but I don't like brunch every day.
Oh, I do like brunch.
Brunch is
I'm a brunch bro.
Undefeated.
Brunch is undefeated. That's why we're friends all these years, because we agree on things like that. We might disagree on a lot of things, but we agree on brunch. John loves brunch. He can't get enough. Well, brunch is amazing because brunch is, and you can get breakfast stuff, you can get lunch stuff. Sometimes there's carving stations. There's different international cuisines. You get the desserts. There's cocktails at 11:30 in the morning. It's just great. Let's go to brunch. What are we doing here? Let's thoughts on Bijan Robinson. This is the thought. I understand the last couple of weeks have not been where we want, and I know nobody's been a bigger Bijan guy than me. I am still not concerned. I look at Bijan Robinson's productivity. He is RB10 after a down week last week. And let's face it, Houston was underwhelming too. This week and next, it's two tough matchups, Tampa and Tennessee. To me, this is the perfect time to trade for him because probably the next 2 weeks aren't good. After that, Minnesota, Arizona bye week. Then you get the Jets, New Orleans, Carolina. The playoffs for him are Carolina, Indianapolis, and Chicago. I'd be wanting to acquire Bijan Robinson. That's where I stand, Erickson. Where do you stand?
I agree. I think that he's a buy low candidate because even though the usage is like up and down, like the receiving usage is really, really good. So like he's RB10 and he hasn't even hit like his full potential. And all he's done is like look great in every time he's got the ball. So I think, right now it's like if people are questioning like, I drafted this guy in the first round, like, is he really worth it? It's like, who these guys hit in the second half of seasons. So especially like the playoff schedule, like you laid out, he's going to be on a lot of league winning teams.
Well, I remember a couple years ago, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, David Montgomery. There were a lot of those guys in their rookie year that the last 6 games of the year, they just exploded, right? Yeah. And they won people championships. Bijan's going to be that guy. Yeah. I do agree, though, the next 3 weeks are rough here in terms of opponents. However, because he does catch the football, he's still useful. So, look, if the stock continues to go down, I'm still buying on it. I'm not giving up. I'm going to die on this hill.
Can you get Raheem? Can you get Bijan with Raheem Mostert right now?
You might be able to. And that's a trade I'll make every single day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is a fun thing to say. I always love that. Like, why do I do it twice on Sunday? Well, just do it every single day. Adam Barnall, half PPR. Who do I start for my wide receiver 2? Pickens, Christian Watson, or Zay Flowers? Ooh.
Watson.
Yeah,
this is a Watson week.
I know.
It's got like
Watson week. I'm with you, dude. And you know me. But Zay Flowers is a flex-worthy guy this week.
Yeah.
Jordan Goen, Kirk or Cooper this week. So Christian Kirk or Amari Cooper, Seattle or Tampa defense. I like the Tampa defense this week. I mean, I know Seattle's got a good matchup against Arizona, and they're at home too, so it doesn't matter. So either's fine. Tampa, I think, is my slight lean. But what do you think, Christian Kirk or Cooper? I think Christian Kirk, right?
Yeah, I think it's close. Okay. I mean, just that way you don't have to risk, like, if Deshaun Watson plays, he doesn't play, he plays good crap. Like, you just don't have to risk it, whereas Kirk has been solid, so just keep playing Kirk.
Evan Kelsey, Zach Evans, or Roshan Johnson. It's probably going to be Zach Evans because even, like, it would take a miracle at this point to Roshan to get good news, practice 2 days, and then play. I don't think that's going to happen. Chris Messiah, start Lamar or Purdy? He still got to start Lamar, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's not go crazy here. Took away those pieces from Brock Purdy. All of a sudden, he's a little more human, isn't he?
Yeah, you put him in the rain. You put him in all these other adverse factors, and everyone's like, "Oh, what do you know? He sucks."
71 degrees in the valley in San Francisco there, and
yet they still should have won the
Napa.
game.
Yeah, like everything with all these weapons, he looks like Tom Brady. You put him out there, and and overcast Cleveland with a real defense playing against him. All of a sudden, things got a little dicey there for Brock. See how he bounces back. A little tough. It's funny. It's like, everybody talks about this stuff about Brock Purdy, and then, whenever he plays one of these defenses that gets after the quarterback, like the way the Eagles did last. Like the Eagles set a sack record last year. I think people forget that. Eagles get after the quarterback. Myles Garrett, that front, they get after the quarterback. Same thing in every single year. No matter how great the quarterback is, you get after the quarterback, bad things are going to happen.
Is Myles Garrett still doing that thing outside his house where he has tombstones of all the quarterbacks he sacked?
I don't know, but that was fun.
That was hilarious. It's
like when he tried
Baker Mayfield and like.
Was it Mason Rudolph he tried to kill with his own helmet once? Is that who it was? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was during one of the COVID games. I don't think it was that Wednesday night game
back then.
the rare Wednesday night we got Ravens Steelers.
It was
like
a
4
Wednesday,
o'clock.
and Myles Garrett was just not having it. Myles Garrett was like, "I'm gonna try to kill a man with his own helmet."
Yeah, I think that was a Thursday night game. That was
I
bizarre.
mean, of all the guys in the league, like Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, like there's like a elite tier that I would not want to piss off, especially if I was a quarterback. It's one thing if you're like a 300-pound, 6'5" lineman.
Parsons, we don't want to piss him off.
Micah Parsons, I don't want to piss him off.
JJ Watt, or TJ Watt, excuse me.
No, but TJ seems like a pretty good guy. But like,
well, I mean, he is the entire team, and it's like if he doesn't.
Max Crosby's another one too.
Oh,
I think there's
Crosby,
just screw loose.
Mad Max.
Like, just play nice, guys. Play nice. Scuba. Look at Scuba's question. Let's go to Gnome.
Don't even try.
Wanunanu.
Sure.
Gnome Wanunanu. See, I did it. Do I start? I'm practicing for next year's NFL draft so I can get all the names right. Do I start Jahmyr Gibbs or Zach Evans this week? I think Gibbs, right? That's what we talked about?
Yeah, Gibbs.
Well, Wanunanu. I said it right. John's laughing at me, but I said it right, John. How would you? It's Wanunanu. Isn't that what Robin Williams used to say in Mork and Mindy? I'm pretty sure. Andrew Erickson has no idea what that is. No idea what that is. Do you know what that is?
No.
I know you know who Robin Williams is.
Yes.
Because you saw Aladdin probably as a child, right?
I have seen Aladdin.
Did you see Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yes, I like that movie.
Okay, you like. What about The Birdcage? Probably some of his finest work.
I think I saw that a while ago. But
you should see The Birdcage. Very funny. Very good movie. Excellent stuff. Marvin McCory. What's up, boys? I'm between McLaurin, Rushy, Rice, Curtis Samuel, who's been really good, and Josh Downs. I have to bench one. Who's the odd man out of this group? You know, it's really hard to bench Samuel the way he's playing. I think Downs is the guy that I bench out of this group because the Cleveland defense has been so good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to like be trying to play Colts receivers.
It's Rice or Downs. Like, and I think you're right. Earlier, you said Rice has the upside. I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing with Patrick Mahomes, like your chances of just falling in the end zone are just like, I mean, the Colts may not score a touchdown.
Mecole Hardman scores a touchdown.
You probably will. Oh, the first touchdown bet. There it is. Mecole Hardman. Because
what is it?
Crazy
What's
odds.
the number?
I don't know.
I'm going to say it's plus.
It's probably not even up because I probably don't even know if he's going to play, but he probably will play because he knows the.
I'm going to say it's plus 650.
I don't care what it is. I'm going to bet it. I just got to figure out what it is.
Erickson loves himself a good touchdown bet. Speaking of bets, by the way, make your bets count. Bettingpros.com/NFL contest. If you're making picks, look, again, you don't have to be betting. You just have to make picks with us. That's all you got to do. And you go to Jackson Smith and Jigba Jersey. It's fun. It's a good time. Join the contest. Bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Or download the Betting Pros app, which you should have already, and join the community tab. Click on that bad boy and then go join the NFL contest. The annual prize of that JSN jersey, but we're also doing weekly prizes, monthly prizes, all available here. Upgrades to Fantasy Pros, which you all love. Upgrade to Betting Pros. We've got hats, t-shirts from our Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros shops to give away, hoodies, all kinds of fun things. I don't think we have underwear and socks, but we'll work on that. We want the Fantasy Pros boxers. Would you rock those, Erickson? Would you rock the Fantasy Pros boxers?
Fantasy Pros boxers?
Yeah, would you the Fantasy Pros underwear? I'm just curious. They're always asking like merch items.
I'm more of a boxer briefs kind of guy.
Well, whatever. You know, I'm not saying the tighty whities. You know, I'm just saying.
We got those?
I don't know. Maybe an F on one cheek and a P on the other, you know? Just saying. I think people would buy that stuff. All right, let's get to the next question here. TR, full PPR, pick one. Aaron Jones, Pittman Jr., or Jacoby Myers. The Jones news is still...
I mean, if Jones is playing, you have to play him.
If Jones is playing, you have to play him against Denver.
Yeah.
And luckily, we can wait here.
LaFleur cannot... I don't think anybody wants to see A.J. Dillon out there as much as Mike LaFleur does not want to see that either. Like, they need Aaron Jones.
All right, so Aaron Jones in if he's playing. Let's say Aaron Jones isn't. Pittman or Myers? I would lean Myers. I know that sounds crazy, but again...
See, the thing with Myers is, like, the one game he was bad in was the game that O'Connell started. And if Devontae Adams doesn't get 20 targets, like, he's got to quit the team.
Secondary is so bad, Erickson. They're so bad.
I mean, how many targets is Adams going to get in this game? I mean, Devontae Adams is literally going to, like, punch Aiden O'Connell in the face if he doesn't get enough targets. Dude, give me the targets, man.
Devontae Adams is going to walk over. This is my friend Steve Smith. I'd like you to meet him. He's got some words for you. Ethan Shaw, James Cook, Robinson Jr., or Zach Evans. Now, Robinson on paper has a very good matchup here. I think I would lean that way.
I think you got to play Robinson.
Lean the
It's a good
paper.
matchup. Yeah.
Let's go to Lil Boy 103. Would y'all start Geno over Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
I think it's safer. I think you're.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence has not been good for fantasy.
It's not been great, and he's not 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of and tough defense. There's a lot of negatives here.
I mean, I have Lawrence outside my top 15 quarterbacks this week. Like, I don't think he's a starter.
Here you go.
I would not try to play him.
Dylan got offered CeeDee Lamb, Olave Mixon for Tyreek Hill and Godwin.
No, sorry.
I know it's Tyreek Hill, but I have 0 running backs. I don't care.
Yeah, this is like again, it's like you're getting Tyreek is just one of those rare pieces that he can score so many points.
Dylan, you're the team that needs to buy low for Bijan Robinson right now. You're that fantasy player, because if you buy low on that, you're already probably a playoff team, right? With Tyreek Hill, probably life is going well for you. You put those guys together in that stretch run, it's gonna be magic.
Trade Godwin to get like Dameon Pierce or someone like that.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Maybe you buy low on Aaron Jones. I was another big hot one in the Instagram chat yesterday, over on the IG, as the kids like to call it. So a lot of people were asking me about Aaron Jones, and my whole thing was going in, we had to know this is year 6 for Aaron Jones. And when you have these running backs 5-6 years in the league with tread on the tires, this is what you see. You start to see breakdowns physically, even though it doesn't show up in their performance necessarily. It's showing up physically, because they can't get on the field to have that performance. And it's just, I mean, there's the Derrick Henrys of the world, the Adrian Petersons of the world. These guys are the anomalies. I don't know why people, do you find it frustrating that people don't look more into that and start shading away from those guys a little bit more?
Well, we were talking about this before we started recording earlier on the pod today, was like what older running back this year is like super efficient? Like it's who it is? It's McCaffrey, and it's Raheem Mostert, who's 31 years old. Like, but besides that, like all the older running backs,
right? But Raheem Mostert doesn't have a history of a workload that the other guys have.
He's a rare guy to look at. But
and Raheem Mostert will not last for 17 games.
Exactly.
So Mike McDaniel knows this.
It's really the young running backs that are the ones that are being really efficient, and all the older ones are just getting volume and just are not really doing a lot with it.
The ageist.
The realist.
Andrew Erickson. Oh, salty. Damn, girl. Johnny Spires, pick 2, Deontay Johnson, Zach Evans, or Javonte Williams in the PPR. Definitely DJ. Who's your other one?
Javonte.
Oh, really? Over Evans? I'm actually surprised on that one.
I mean, he's playing the Packers. Packers run.
I understand.
Horrible.
I get it. All right, so let's go to Jen Richards' question. Please pick 2 RBs in PPR: Moss, Algier, Reynolds, or Warren.
Well, Reynolds has been hurt, so I don't even know if he's going to play. So I guess Moss, I'm always wrong about, so I don't think you should play him.
Well,
so
is it Craig Reynolds or Josh Reynolds? That's the thing.
Well, it's a running back.
I'm sorry. Pick two RBs. I'm sorry. In the PPR. Yes, my bad.
So I'd probably go Warren just because he's got some juice coming off a bye, and probably Moss.
I think it's Moss and Warren for me too, Jen. Good luck. Let's go to Jackson Reese's question. Pick 2: Robinson, James Cook, Gibbs, or Ramondre in the full PPR.
Gibbs, so it's Brian Robinson. So definitely Gibbs.
It's Brian Robinson or Bijan Robinson. I don't care. Any Robinson.
And then Gibbs. I got to play Gibbs. Like, again, once in a lifetime opportunity here with Dave Montgomery not playing.
CJ Gist, PPR, Waller or Mike Mayer this week? Here we go. Michael Mayer questions.
Waller.
Donnie Nickum, Ferguson or Mayer? Lining up the Mayer questions. Mayer for you. Okay.
You can't play Ferguson. He's on a bye.
Well, that's also, yeah.
I guarantee I'm going to be right. And then Mayer's going to fumble and score negative points.
I was going to say Mayer's negative point. But maybe it's a rest of season question. That's right. The Cowboys are on a bye this week. So Ferguson or Mayer rest of season? Let's have that conversation, because maybe that's what Donnie's thinking about.
I think I'd probably rather have Mayer, because I don't know where this Devontae Adams thing is going.
I'd rather have Ferguson, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't really feel like hitching my wagon to Dallas's offense, but then again, the Raiders' offense isn't good either.
So. The Cowboys will make a run at
I don't know. They'll
Mayer.
Get
in the playoffs, and then they'll fall apart. I mean, we've seen this story a million times.
That's true.
Come on, this is typical Cowboys. It's gloom and doom, and then right around Thanksgiving they'll lose that game, and then all of a sudden they'll play really well in December, backdoor their way into playoffs, get everyone's expectations up, and then I can make money betting against them. It's
right now, I'd rather have Mayer, and if he has a good week, then you're going to want to have him too. So.
Must Love Labs, one of our good friends here at the channel. Risk it with Lawrence or pivot to Howell this week. Grabbed him off waivers. Howell is so intriguing to me, but
I'm
I think
playing
that's going to play
Howell.
Lawrence.
I'm
Oh,
playing Howell.
really? Okay.
No, I'm not. I mean, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been good. Howell has more points than Trevor Lawrence does this year.
I know. I just don't like the idea. I think that game's going to be weird. I like Howell this week, but there's like a certain level where I like Howell.
No, I get that. Like
the Lawrence level is not quite where I'm at.
He's very Blake Bortles-esque, and it's like, okay, like the numbers look good, but then like, is it gonna?
Yeah, but
spiral?
you watch it and it doesn't, right? And
right.
Then
exactly.
there's times where it's just and the thing. What did I say about the Commanders a couple weeks ago? I did this whole rant there with Bogman. I said this is what they do. They play up to their opponents and they play down to their opponents. And this game scares the crap out of me because I feel like the Commanders play down to teams like the Giants. And they have all year, starting with week 1 in Arizona. They played down. So, Luis Cuevas. I got outbid for Evans. Should I get Keontae Ingram, Craig Reynolds, or Deonta Foreman? Foreman for you. Brian Hudson. PPR, trade Mostert for Purdy. No.
What was the Superflex?
I don't care.
I don't know. In Superflex, I mean, Purdy's the exact, like, consistent asset that
How
you can
many
start
RBs can you have that
every single week. I would do this in Superflex. I mean, you're trading a very volatile asset. We just talked about how all the old running backs are bad. For Brock Purdy, who is the most steady, consistent 17 points, locked and loaded every single week at quarterback.
You probably know this off the top of your head. Where's Purdy on the season?
I'm assuming he's somewhere like 12. Like he's got to be somewhere like at the fringe fantasy QB1 because he's been super consistent.
Why can't I? Where is he on the? Oh, there he is. Brock Purdy is. Ready for it? QB 10.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. That's where
QB
I figured he'd be.
It's fine. I feel like Mostert can get like some of the other deals we were talking about, like a deal Mostert for Bijan Robinson. Like that's the trade I want to make. I don't want to make the Purdy trade.
Well, I mean, assuming this is Superflex, like
I'm assuming.
Definitely not Superflex. or in regular leagues. Don't do this.
No, don't do this. Ryan Ross, hey guys, pick one. Pickens, Downs, or Rushy Rice. Full PPR. Thanks for the question, Ryan. What do you want to do here?
Probably still going to roll with Pickens.
Okay. Mike Matthews, start Charbonnet if Roshan's out, or pick up McKinnon, Gainwell, or Gaskin. No, I'd start Charbonnet. I think that's your
Charbonnet's also on the injury report, so
did he
that's
pop up?
problematic. Yeah. So Ken Walker is going to score like a bazillion
Well, then
points.
you go for McKinnon's really been being phased out.
I would do Gainwell and just be like high total. Maybe he goes scores. That's what I would do.
When Ayong, start Jordan Love or Sam Howell?
I would start Love in this case.
This is where I want to start Howell. What's happening here to us?
I mean,
why do you want to start? I mean, I know Denver's terrible, but
Denver is terrible. You like Christian Watson, right? So why don't you like Jordan Love? There you go.
Well, because he only has to do one thing right for making Christian Watson.
I mean, an 80-yard touchdown is a lot of points.
It is, but then he might have 90 yards passing. That's 80 of it's just a Christian Watson.
I don't know. I mean, the Packers their offensive line is healthier coming off the bye week. He has all his weapons. Denver's. I'm sorry. Like, I don't believe what I saw on Thursday. The Denver just became this juggernaut unit. Like, no.
Let's go to Miranda's question. Miranda Nicely. That's a fun name. Sounds like a character from Peaky Blinders or something. I need an RB, full PPR. Jeff Wilson, Latavius Murray, Keontae Ingram, or Craig Reynolds. Apocalypse is upon us, Erickson.
I mean, as crazy as it seems, like no Damian Harris. Latavius Murray is going to see at least 50% of the snaps, and they're playing the Patriots. And who has the goal line role? It's Latavius Murray. So I think I would probably do that unless we learn more about Jeff Wilson's role. I would probably say Murray.
All right, drop Akers for Zach Evans. That's from T Morg,
yes.
007.
Yes.
Chuck Druin. I don't know. Choose 2 PPR. Hollywood Brown, DJ Moore, or Jalen Waddle.
So definitely Waddle. Yep. And then it's just like the lesser of two evils. Like which receiver with their rookie quarterback do you want to play? Or I guess I would do Hollywood because Dobbs we've seen.
Yeah, Dobbs has made it back. Yeah,
Moore is like more unknown. So I would go Hollywood.
What a horrible gut wrenching couple weeks it's been for the DJ Moore manager. You go from like week 1,
but this is the DJ Moore experience.
Yeah, but it's not DJ Moore's fault. Again, like you go from that, it's terrible, and then he's chirping, and then they finally start getting on the ball, and things finally look good, and then what happens is Justin Fields gets hurt. Like this is it's just
friendly reminder to everyone that has DJ Moore. It's like, guys, like he's had bad quarterbacks his entire career, and he's been a wide receiver too.
DJ Moore's stat line be on the Kansas City Chiefs for the year?
He would have probably already 10 touchdowns.
No, on a season. Give me a season. Like I
Oh
want a
man, I
full
think that he
season.
would push
I would think
1,500
like
yards,
1,300. Yeah, I was saying 1,350 with
and
8.
he would probably score because that's his
That's only 8
bugaboo. Like since
touchdowns.
and the league, it's like he never scores more than like 4 touchdowns any year. He would probably put up double-digit scores. So yeah,
Kansas City,
it'd be
get on that
cooking,
horn.
be
Not to
cooking.
the Jets for McCole Hardman. Get on the horn. Get that DJ Moore. Get him. Get trade whoever. Just take it. Just go get it. Go get it. That's all you need.
Go get it.
All you need.
Go get it.
Go get it. DBFZ. Considering the wind,
Stop.
who should I start? Tua or Lamar in a 12-man league?
I'm
Look, it is
starting
really
Tua.
hard. Yeah, it's really hard to sit Tua. DB, you got to trade one of these guys. Probably Lamar is who I would trade because I think Lamar will bring you back more. Believe it or not.
He's clearly afraid of the wind, so just trade Tua.
Yes, the wind. Look, be afraid of the wind in Cleveland when it's 40 miles
Also,
an
like
hour and you
it's
can't
not
throw the
like
football.
the Dolphins haven't just been like launching like moon balls to Tyreek Hill for him to
No,
score.
this is
Like that's not how their offense
this is not
works.
the A dot isn't 15 and a half here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not their game. It's
And
quick
if
slants
anything
and
too,
get out
it's like
there. Yeah.
if the wind actually is a factor and the Eagles then like try to play close up against these receivers, then you could see the Dolphins be like, all right, you're going to give Tyreek Hill no safety help because you think the wind's going to help you. Well, good luck. And then you're seeing Tyreek Hill run like, yeah. So I'm playing Tua.
All right. Don't forget, everybody, like the stream. If you're hanging out with us, click that like button, smash it. We love it. We love hanging out with all of you, talking ball. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Drop your questions, your comments below, because if you do, you just might win this bad boy. We're giving away a Christian Kirk jersey, courtesy of bettingpros.com. Sign up today for Betting Pros. Go download that app. But in the meantime, to win the jersey, drop the comment, subscribe to our channel at Fantasy Pros, and ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications so you can win that one. Duval! It's a fun thing to say. I just like saying Duval. I'm just going to keep saying it until we give the jersey away. Let's do Tammy McLeod's question here. Hey, guys, had ACL surgery yesterday, and my mind is foggy. I need your help. Tammy, first of all, hope you're feeling okay. Second of all, get well soon. And thanks for hanging out with us when you're laid up there in the hospital bed or wherever you are here having ACL surgery and hanging out with us. This is thanks for choosing us. Pick 2, full PPR, Pittman, DJ Moore, Osborne, and Olave. Here's about
DJ Moore and Olave for me.
DJ Moore and Olave for you. See, I was leaning towards Pittman and Olave.
I just think a lot of Pittman's production is like garbage time, and I just don't think the Browns are going to do that to the Colts.
I guess here's the thing. It's like, do you think DJ Moore has? I mean, Tyson Badge is not good. Like, this is
name a good quarterback DJ Moore's had in his NFL career. Like he's been fine. Like he's had horrible quarterbacks all the time. I think he'll be okay.
You think about it. He did play with Cam Newton one year, did he not? Yeah.
That was rookie year. He played with Cam.
Kyle Allen.
A lot of Allens.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, he's boomer bust regardless. Like, so I would just roll the dice with him. Pittman is more of a floor play because you're just hoping he just gets volume.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. See, the problem is Olave is definitely in. I understand what Erickson's saying about DJ Moore. I mean, he's more explosive. He's more the upside play. Pittman is safe.
And if you want to be comforted a little bit with, all of DJ Moore's targets last week came with Badgett in the game. Like he immediately came in the game and threw the ball to DJ Moore 5 times. So he knows who he needs to throw the ball to.
Rico Suave, a song from my youth. For $1 million, Erickson. Who sang Rico Suave? Can you answer that question?
It's not Enrique Iglesias, right?
No, it is not Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, well.
Enrique Iglesias was just a boy when this
That's
song
what I
going.
figured.
I want to say the name was Gerardo. I want to say. Is that correct, John? John is like on the Google machine. John's giving me the thumbs up. He didn't even need to check it. He's like, I know, because John was rocking out to Rico Suave. It's a great tune. You would love it, Erickson, because you love the thong song. I know that from hanging out with you.
It's not a live stream unless we bring that up.
Well, let me tell you, that was the livest stream. Let me tell you, that was. So Rico wants to know Deontay Johnson or James Cook.
I'll probably just start James Cook running back.
Okay. Ronan the Accused. Ronan's one of our friends from our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. Free to join. Purdy, Cousins, or Howell?
Purdy.
Yeah. We have the 3 quarterbacks. What are we doing here, Ronan? We're just playing quarterback roulette here.
I mean, there are some leagues where there's QB hoarding and you just can't get guys on waivers. Like there are some leagues that just everyone has quarterback. I remember I played in a league where you had to have
If you got
two
three of these
quarterbacks.
guys, you trade Cousins right now, right?
I mean, who's
Like if you
trading
have
for Cousins?
Purdy, you're playing Purdy, how's your backup? You trade Cousins because somebody needs a quarterback this week. So Ronan, if you've been hoarding quarterbacks, now's the time to unload Cousins. Now. Do it now. Raymond M, DJ Moore or Zay Flowers in standard league?
Probably start Zay.
Yes, I would start Zay. Not probably. I will. G Smith, Gino, Derek Carr, or Trevor Lawrence. Which QB do you want to
Do
roll
not
with?
play quarterbacks playing tonight. You will be sad. Geno Smith.
Gino Smith. Flack attack. Is Mitchell or Mason or Craig Reynolds worth a start over Debo Samuel? I don't think so.
Unless we get like definitive
Unless you get
information.
McCaffrey
Like,
information.
yeah,
Yes.
then you play Mitchell. So I like
Really?
going
Not
into
Mason? You think Mitchell's healthy?
Yeah. I think Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell's the guy. Like, I don't think it's gonna be Jordan Mason.
Also, is Swift and Kittle for Jacobs and Pitts a good trade? Swift. I really like how Swift has looked this year. And I was not a Swift guy coming into the season. Taylor,
Well,
yes.
it's 'cause
DeAndre, no. So this was a problem. So I'll take the L on this one. I think I'd rather have Swift and Kittle, to be honest, that combination.
Yeah, because I think even though Kittle like busts like so frequently, like when he has boom weeks, like
Oh,
they're
he has boom
massive
weeks, he wins you a
gains.
week. But
Yeah,
there's
and
like 4
Pitts
of
just
those
doesn't
all
have
year.
Pitts doesn't have that in his
Which
range.
means he's got 3 left. He's got 3
You
left.
hope one of them's in the playoffs.
Actually, I hope all 3 of them are in the playoffs. That's what I hope. Or the week before the playoffs, and then the first 2 to get me to the championship, and then anything can happen. Let's go to Raymond M's question here. DJ Moore or Zay Flowers in a standard league? Zay for me.
Zay, yep.
Dirt Diggler, trade away Josh Jacobs for Bijan Robinson.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're good with that.
See you later,
Grizzly
Josh.
Burr. It's a tough spot this week. Jeff Wilson, Rashad White, AJ Dillon need to start 2 this week. Well, I would start Dillon if Jones is out. If Jones is in, Rashad White, I think, is probably the guy either way that gets a start. But then is it Dillon or Jeff Wilson?
It's Wilson. I mean, I can't. I mean, I don't know how many
Denver's that bad against. I mean, they are
Dude.
the worst team in the league against the run. They don't tackle anybody.
I guess,
the tackling is
I guess it is
there.
AJ Dillon. I mean, he did have a good game against the Raiders, so
we can hang our hats on that. Beast Mode Kane, Hunt or Rice in the flex?
Rice.
Did Hunt practice today? Because he was on the veteran did not practice yesterday.
Was it like
Wednesday.
rest?
Yeah, see, that's why I don't get crazy about that. People are like, "Oh no, God, Kareem Hunt's
Wednesday reports are usually like BS,
right?" But also the Wednesday when someone's not practicing and it's a veteran, it's the veteran rest day that we're used to.
Yeah,
I get that now. They give that to me, Fantasy Pros, because I'm old now. They give me the veteran
that's why
rest
you
day
never
on
respond
Wednesday.
to any of my slacks on Wednesday.
Not on Wednesdays. Enough of you. Out with you. I'm out there taking long walks, a little photography, getting some fresh air, old people stuff. That's what I do. 4:00, make some dinner, that kind of thing. Let's go to Daniel Capsican, Ridley, Lockett, or Deontay Johnson this week. I like Lockett this week out of these guys.
Yeah, I think like he's in a good game environment. So
good game environment, plus DK is not 100% too. Angie Perez, full point PPR. Should I start Jonathan Taylor or Ford? Jonathan Taylor. I know it's a bad matchup, but like the Ford thing is tenuous right now.
Yeah.
And defense, should I keep Kansas City or should I pick up Seattle or Vegas? Seattle and Vegas are good streamers this week, but I kind of hate dropping KC. This is a tricky one here.
I think I probably just hold. I mean, I think in the end, I think you're just gonna be happy you just kept the same defense.
You know what? I'm gonna hold, thinking that you can get some sacks on Herbert, and that you probably get a pick or 2 on Herbert too.
Well, also too, and if this person's look at who they play next week too. So if one of these streamers you can pick up and play them both weeks, then okay, make the move. But if it's like you're gonna have to pick them up and then drop them again, it's like it's not probably worth it. Just keep KC if you can keep playing them.
All right, 2 more.
Sure KC plays Denver next week too, so I think you just want to keep them.
Last two here, all the way at the bottom. Yo, kids, yo, Hopkins or Josh Palmer? Wait, DeAndre Hopkins is not.
Hopkins is on a bye week, so you can't play him.
You can't play him. Rest of season.
Layup, baby.
Hopkins or Palmer.
Hopkins. Hope he gets traded to the Chiefs.
You know what? That somebody gets traded to the Chiefs. You think Derrick Henry gets traded? By the way, there's been some rumblings.
It makes sense. He's on an expiring deal. They love Tajay Spears. Like it'd be good. We would all rejoice. We'd be like,
everybody wins. I would be low key.
Put him on the Ravens. Put him on the Ravens. Oh my God. We could bring back the Heisman backfield. We need this.
I would love to see that. And also I'd be buying Tajay Spears shares everywhere right now. or people are dropping him because of the bye week because they have to. This is where you just gobble up all the Tajay Spears you possibly can this week, just in case the next 2 weeks happen. Just delicious. All right, let's go to Waffles VR. Pat Frymuth or Kyle Pitts? Last one. What do you want to do here? Frymuth. There you go, everybody. Don't forget to like the stream, comment below, subscribe to the FantasyPros YouTube channel. Join us for some picks over at bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Yes, that's where it is. And also, don't forget to download my playbook, the greatest suite of fantasy tools in the history of the universe, at your fingertips to help you make all these decisions when we're not available, like me on Wednesdays. Old man rest day, veteran rest day. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Andrew Erickson, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.